Hello, hello. Welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. This is Roy here, reporting, doing a solo Roy show. Solo Roy shows are very popular, as we all know, so we're going to forge ahead and try to tackle a recap of what's happened in the news this last week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to A Bold and Distant Future. And tell a friend, join, subscribe, hit that like button. Come on, guys. Let's make this thing take off. This has been a troubling week, and it just seems like many of us have lost the will or lost the wind in our sails. But I feel like we need to forge ahead and keep talking about this stuff, even if it's just to document it on some level for ourselves. So that's what drives me to go forward. A few things happened in the last couple of days that added in quickly. But the first thing we'll talk about today is Trump's disapproval rating. And it hits a record for his second term. It's gone lower. And I think a lot of it has to do with his handling or not handling of the Epstein files. He's trying to brush that away as if there's nothing there, which is strange. We all know that Trump in the past said that Jeffrey Epstein was a terrific guy and a lot of fun to be with. Well, in New Jersey, they had a FIFA game, soccer game, and there were many fans in attendance that booed Donald Trump's presence at this FIFA game. I don't know percentages, but it sounded like many people don't like Donald Trump. This is just another indicator of how his popularity is waning in our country. You know, if you see the video of that FIFA game, he tries to ingratiate himself into the award ceremony of the winning team and sit up there and bask in the kind of celebration of it all when it's not his to, not his to be a part of, really. But this is where we're at when you have this kind of weakened dictator who's looking for any way to ingratiate himself or pump himself up in the public eye. Show up at a big sporting event and try to get in on the vibe. Good luck, Trump. Americans are usually pretty vocal. Continue to be that way. There's a protest coming up that I heard about called Blackout the System. It's happening in a couple of months between September 16th and 20th. It's a week-long, 5-day blackout. I'd like to get this thing started and encourage other people to join. 5-day blackout. If you can't do the whole 5 days, just do the one day, September 17th, which is Constitution Day. But if you can do all 5 days, that would be great. It'll send a direct message. Here's what people should do, Americans that want to be involved in this nationwide blackout, the system day. Don't go to work. Make no purchases. Have no deliveries. Don't gas up your car. Don't go to a restaurant. Don't travel. No projects, no events. No backing out. That message will be sent and heard loud and clear. We need to get everyone involved in this. So look for Blackout the System coming to us in September. It might be hard for some of us to not go to work, but if you can do it, try. Do it. It feels like it feels like the concrete is setting on this Trump fascism. Maybe we're all tired, beaten down, just don't want to deal with it or talk about it anymore. I totally get that. But we have to have these channels of communication open. We need to keep talking. So I will. This is yesterday's news. CBS is ending The Late Show with Stephen Colbert next year. That was kind of a shock. One of the last big public voices that is anti-Trump, and they're taking away his show. CBS, who's been mixed up with Trump in lawsuits with 60 Minutes, I believe the Paramount and CBS, I think Paramount owns CBS, is being sold, and because Trump has to approve the sale through the FCC, it looks like Trump is trying to exert some power over CBS. I don't know. This is such a breaking news story that I don't know. But in a shocking move, CBS is ending The Late Show with Stephen Colbert next year and apparently exiting the late-night television business altogether. And what, is it too much trouble? The network, citing financial pressures, said the cancellation will take effect in May of 2026, the normal end of the broadcast TV season. So we have another nearly year left of The Late Show. But the decision is particularly surprising because The Late Show is typically the highest rated show in late night. And yes, the timing is bound to raise questions because it comes 2 weeks after the parent company of CBS, Paramount, settled a lawsuit lodged by President Trump against CBS News. Cause and effect. We don't know the full story on this. I heard The Atlantic has an article on it. I haven't read that yet. I just heard about it last night. We'll keep our eye on it. Well, at least we've got Colbert for another year until May 2026. But this just feels like an authoritarian exerting his power and winning. Sad day for freedom of speech. But a bold and distant future will carry on. We will carry on. There's no doubt about that. Maybe we need more humor around here. All right, I'll try to slip in some jokes every now and again. I'm sure that's going to work out. No, but when we lose Colbert, we lose a really important voice in our country. It's a very sad day for some of us. It's funny to read the reactions to this news and read the comments on different articles and so on. A lot of people don't support freedom of speech. Trump faces a revolt from his MAGA base over the Epstein files. This is one of the biggest things that's happened this week, is that Pam Bondi, who originally said the Epstein files on her desk were going to be reviewed and then released, the so-called client list, now she says there's really no client list at all. And Trump is backing down from promises he made about releasing the client list. In the past, again, Trump said Epstein was a terrific guy and a lot of fun to be with. Not anymore. They were friends for 15 years. The Guardian here reporting that Trump supporters are burning their MAGA hats after he dismisses the Epstein files furor as a hoax. He's trying to blame the Epstein files on Biden, on Obama, on CIA Director John Brennan, on any number of people, as if it's a Democrat plot like those files. I can't remember the name of those files that implicated him. Anyway, this fellow, FBI's appointed podcaster, FBI's Dan Bongino, very upset with Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi. But Trump faces a revolt from his MAGA base over the Epstein files. The Epstein files, and they call for Attorney General Pam Bondi to be fired. And it dominated a conservative conference in Tampa this weekend. Trump's MAGA base is not happy with this. He's trying to say the Epstein files are all a hoax. And then the New York Times reported that Trump pleads with followers to back Bondi in dispute over the Epstein inquiry. In a long social media post, President Trump praised Attorney General Pam Bondi and told his followers to not waste time and energy on the Jeffrey Epstein case. What would we find in there? Why are we worried? Why are you worried, President Trump? I'm afraid this Epstein files issue is not going to go away easily. And people will get worn out and they'll lose interest. The momentum will kind of pass. But I hope it breaks off enough MAGA people where they start to see that Trump is playing them. We'll see how that one works out. This is one episode of A Bold and Distant Future wherein I wish I had other voices to kick around some ideas with. This is one of Trump's recent posts that he rambled and went on about everything. If you look at the top here, he's talking about how wonderful a job Pam Bondi's doing. And we have a perfect administration. And how he's upset that Jeffrey Epstein's name will just not go away. It's just out there. And how he's trying to say that Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, John Brennan, CIA director, conned the world into thinking that there is something there in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Sounds like he's trying to cover himself. Oh, the Steele dossier. That's what I was trying to remember. He's trying to link the Epstein files with the Christopher Steele dossier, as if all this stuff out there is fake. And let Pam Bondi do her job. The one thing that's a Bongino guy, is he going to quit over this? Is he going to bail on the FBI? We'll see. But there's a lot of fracturing going on Team MAGA right now. At some point, maybe they will realize they're being played. And then Donald Trump, is it a distraction? What kind of threat does Rosie O'Donnell pose to Donald Trump? Here he writes, because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. Really? I didn't know a president could just take away an American citizenship. She is a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America. Well, she has moved to Ireland and she's been making television appearances there, speaking her mind, as a free American should be able to do. Revoke her citizenship. Has the president ever revoked the citizenship of a natural-born American citizen? Is that even legal? Is that a thing? I have so many questions here. But at A Bold and Distant Future, we look into this stuff. And we try to take it apart, come to some kind of understanding. I try not to present any misinformation, but I try to base my opinions on facts. This is also happening. One of Trump's personal lawyers, his name is Emile Beauvais, is being voted on to assume a federal judicial position, not the Supreme Court. I think it's like a third district judge position, but I've heard people say that this is sometimes a stepping stone to the Supreme Court. Well, the Democrats basically walked out on this this judicial nominee's possibility of being elected as a federal judge because he's a Trump loyalist. He's a Trump plant. Here's from the Washington Post. As Democrats walk out, Republicans advance judicial nomination of Emile Beauvais. They have the vote, so I guess they can do it. Beauvais, a top Justice Department official and Trump's former personal defense attorney, was nominated to serve on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit. That's what it was. This is where I need help with legal things. Is that, in fact, is being serving on the U.S. Court of Appeals. Is that a stepping stone to the Supreme Court? Is that what's happening here? I don't know much about Emile Beauvais and all of his doings and dealings with Trump, but he doesn't sound like the right candidate for a Supreme Court justice. Or I guess if he's just put in as a judge in a federal court, he would have power as well to rule in favor of Trump if any lawsuits came his way. He's a Trump loyalist. Trump is trying to install his own people everywhere. This is the state of affairs right now, and it has been sort of a challenging week, dominated by that Epstein files release and more breaking up within the MAGA base. We'll see how these things play out next week. I greatly appreciate anyone out there listening and taking part in our program whenever they can. Have a great day, everyone. This is Roy signing out for A Bold and Distant Future.